guys, I'm back again with another video, and I'm very excited to film this video. It was inspired by nikkietutorials here on YouTube, and I also watched Patrick Starr's video, and I'm pretty sure you guys have guessed it already. This is the Power of Makeup challenge, and I decided to film this intro without any makeup. People think that just because you don't have any makeup on, you shouldn't go out, or some girls feel like they can't go even out to the mailbox without a full face of makeup. This video, she made it pretty much so you can embrace your flaws and so you can feel confident in your own skin. So I'm going to go ahead and just do half of my face full beat down, and then the other half exactly how I am right now, which is completely barefaced. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. Alright, so this is actually going to be a voiceover video because I tried doing the talk through, but it was just way too long. So anyways, here I'm just starting with the Benefit Porefessional Primer, starting out in the T-zone, that's where I have the most pores, and then just spreading the remainder over my forehead and the rest of my cheeks. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to be putting a color contact on the right side of my face, so on my right eye, and this is the Fresh Look Color Blends in green. So going in with my Sigma F80 and my L'Oreal True Match Foundation, I'm just going to be putting this on my right side of the face with the brush, and I'm just going to be buffing that into the skin. Putting this over my lips because my lips are naturally pigmented, so I'm just going to be placing foundation over that so it can cancel out some of that color, and we have a nice base for when we put on the lipstick. Next, we're going to fill in our brows, and I'm using the one and only Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. So here I'm just grooming them, and then I'm going to start sculpting, well, filling in and then sculpting with the concealer and the foundation. I do the lighter concealer at the bottom of the eyebrow to give it a nice crisp highlighted look, and then I use my foundation to carve out the top of them so that the eyebrow blends more with the skin on the forehead. Now with concealer, I'm going to be priming my eyelids. I'm just using any leftover product that is left over. And then I'm going to be taking a fluffy shader brush, and I'm going to be using this CoverGirl palette. It's called Coffee Shop number 206. And I'm taking the white base color, and I'm going to be patting that all over the lid, from the lid all the way up to the brow bone. So this is just going to act as a smooth base so that when we do place any shadows, it's not choppy and they blend really nicely. So taking the Sonia Kashuk 109 fluffy blending brush, I'm going to be taking Soft Brown by MAC, and I'm just going to be putting that in the crease, and I'm gonna kind of wing it out at the end, just elongating the eye shape so it's gonna look kind of like a cut crease, cat eye look, but nothing too harsh, just a little swoop at the end. Next, I'm taking a tapered pencil brush, and I'm going to be dipping into the copper shade in the palette, and I'm going to be carving out the crease, kind of like a cut crease, but not as harsh as a regular cut crease. So this is a shimmer color, but we are going to blend it out, and it's going to look very nicely over the soft brown. And with that same brush, I'm going to be dipping into the darkest shade, which is called, I think, Coffee. And I'm just going to be focusing that color on the outer corner and into about halfway into the crease. And I'm just placing the color now, and then we'll blend it in just a second so that it all looks seamless and no harsh edges or lines. Fluffy shader brush, I'm going to be taking that white color again, and I'm just going to intensify the lid color, just packing this on there, and that'll just really give that a really nice pop in the center of the eyelid. Alright, so now we're going to be doing some highlighting and concealing. I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal True Match concealer in Fair Light, and I'm just going to be placing this under the eye in the upside down triangle technique, and I'm going to be taking this all the way up to the temple because it's going to be sharpening up that line at the edge of that eyeshadow. And taking a flat foundation brush, I'm just going to be pressing this into the skin, and this concealer is very weightless and it blends really nice. Adding a winged liner, and to do that we're going to be using Black Track Fluidline by MAC, which is just a black gel liner. So we're going to be starting the outside of the wing here and then bringing it in and then filling in everything else. I'm going to be curling my eyelashes with just a regular curler, nothing fancy here. Just going to be giving that a few squeezes, and then I'm going to be applying the NYC City mascara, and then I'm going to go in with the Dior mascara after that. So if you guys have watched any of my previous videos, you know this is my favorite combination. I use the NYC for length, and then I use the Dior one for volume. So here here I just popped on some lashes. These are the Ardell Demi wispies, and I customize them because I cut them a certain way because I like the inner part, the middle part of the lashes to be the longest, and then I like the outer corner and the inner corner to be short. So here I'm taking a pencil brush and I'm taking that copper shade and I'm running this along the lower lash line from outer corner to inner corner, and then I'm going to be taking that dark brown and then smoking it out some more and then blending that out to create a nice smoky effect on the lower lash line. And now for the contouring, I'm going to be using the Lorac Contour Pro palette, and I'm just going to be taking this e.l.f. blush brush and I'm going to be taking the yellow highlight and beige highlight, and I'm going to be patting that into the under eye area just to set that concealer. And then I'm going to be taking the brush that came with the kit. It kind of reminds me of the NARS Ita brush, except for this one is more rounded. I'm going to be dipping into medium contour and light contour, and I'm just going to be carving out those cheekbones, taking it up to the temples and forehead, and then of course the jawline. Blush, I'm going to be taking the BH Cosmetics Glamorous Blush, and I'm going to be taking this brownish orangey blush, and it's very pigmented, so I have to tap off the excess and then lightly stipple that onto the cheekbones. And I do this a little bit higher than the apples, so after I do this, I'm going to be taking an oldie but a goodie, which is the Mary Loumanizer by the Balm. And I'm just going to be hitting the tops of the cheekbones and over the eyebrows for a nice highlight. And then I'm also going to be contouring my nose with any leftover product on the brush and then hitting the very tip of the nose with the Mary Loumanizer. Alright, so now for the lips. I wanted something really dramatic, so I'm going to be using Diva by MAC. And I'm just going to be putting this all over the lip, and then I'm going to be, cleaning up the edges and making everything nice and crisp. So this is the finished look, and once again I just wanted to mention that I did do this video, well, mainly because I was inspired by nikkietutorials here on YouTube, but I also wanted to do this because, like Nikki said, a lot of girls are being shamed for wearing makeup, which is crazy to me because to me makeup is a form of art, and for me personally it is my outlet of creativity. This is how I express myself. I don't understand how somebody can shame somebody for doing what they love. Just like when someone doesn't wear makeup, you should not shame them, So in my opinion is, if just because it's not your cup of tea, you shouldn't knock it down, or especially you shouldn't, shame the person for doing what they love. So everyone is beautiful inside and out. Just always remember to stay comfortable in your own skin. Like I said, I can go out to run errands or to the grocery store without makeup, like just like this, or I could be dropping off my son to school and I want to go like this, and whichever one it is, it shouldn't be a problem to anyone. I do what makes me happy, and you guys should always remember to do what makes you happy and do whatever it takes to express yourself. And just because someone is knocking down on what you love does not mean to quit and to stop doing it. As long as you love what you're doing, then continue to do that no matter what anybody says. Don't let them put you down for doing what you love. So once again, everyone, just remember to stay comfortable in your own skin and love yourself and embrace your flaws, because everyone has them. No matter how perfect they may look on Instagram or on Facebook, everyone has flaws. Just remember to embrace them, because that's what makes you you. and at the end of the day, it's just makeup. It washes off, it comes off, and at the end of the day, we all look like this. Well, at least I do. And if you don't, then you are lucky. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next one, and thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Love you guys.